G'day guys, Ron here from Osborne Digital Marketing. Today I'm going to discuss CTR manipulation and does it work? Let's dive into it together. So I ran a bit of a case study. Now it is a smaller case study, but I ran a bit of a case study utilizing SERP Empire for CTR manipulation. I wanted to see if the classic theory of throwing a little bit to adding a bit of spice, I guess you would say, onto your clicks would cause it to go in reverse. So I decided to run a bit of a case study. Thankfully, the guys over at Rank Tracker reached out about doing a guest post for them. More than happy to oblige. I think they've got a fantastic tool, and that's actually what I'm going to be using today to display the trackings of the keywords. But if this guest post ends up on their website, go check it out. If it lands on mine, check it out there either way. But I'll run you through the results of this. Now, it wasn't a crazy test. I didn't want to go out there and destroy the website because it's actually done on my own website using a couple of different keywords in different types of, I guess you would say, all from the same sort of niche, but serving different keywords and different meanings. So I'll run you through essentially for the uninitiated of CTR manipulation. I'll explain what CTR manipulation is. It's essentially where you use bots or even people to drive up the click-through rate, user engagement signals in a page. So you want them to look at a SERP, you want them to find your listing, you want to click on that. And the intent behind that is to try and push your listing higher, because there's only so much on page and off page is going to do for your page. So that's just how it is. So as you can see here, big way, and I do have another video of talking about how to calculate it all in depth. That's not really what I'm going to cover today. Today's just a quick one about the results. So as you can see, this is a sort of general scenario you want to utilize if you're trying to determine what your click-through rate manipulation should be, what the numbers should be. I say if you're in position 5, you should really only, if you want to go up, obviously to position 1, you shouldn't go from 23 clicks a month or 6% of a total search volume to 128. So basically increasing it by like 98 clicks for that month. No, what you should do is ease up into each spot. Okay, so look 1 or 2 above, and that's how many clicks you should do for that month. And then you just keep progressing. So as you move up, and you add a couple more clicks, and then you'll move up again and a couple more clicks. So that's how you do it. You leapfrog your way in. Now, what I've done for the test. So let's go to the table. Now, this is the test. So these are the keywords that we're looking at. Electrician SEO, which was currently, and this is all for the US. So I was in position number 3 on Google for electrician SEO. How to make a Google post, I was in position 6 for that keyword. Digital marketing Boca Raton, so north of where I am, Fort Lauderdale, position 7. And corporate reputation management, I was in position 11 for that keyword at the start. Now, the reason I wanted to test these out was to just see, is it still relevant? Because I've watched actually a couple of videos out there saying, it's fantastic to just go out there and let these bots and these new, essentially, I guess you would say online tools, and just nuke something. That's how you do it. And that can't be further from the truth. Now, let me show you what happens when you're a little bit, I guess you would say, crazy with the numbers. So when it came to electrician SEO, as you can see, there's about a search volume of 260 a month. This was confirmed in SEMrush. It's around about that number, guys. What I've done is essentially I added a couple of extra clicks of what it should be. So like I said before, if you're in position 5, you should look to position 4 and position 3. And you should calculate, okay, how many did those guys get? That's the absolute maximum range that you want to go after. So you just want to start adding a couple of. Now that might take you a month or 2 to move up into those positions. It should just be an absolute flat line, like you can actually see over here, but just above my head up there. And let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this a bit better. That's how you would approach it. You want to approach it in a way where it's easing into it. Like all things in SEO, guys, don't rush it. Now, a lot of clients, everyone out there that's in SEO will have clients breathing down their necks, but you have to take it slow. I didn't want to do this for this case study, but I also didn't want to write off my site. So what I did for this keyword specifically, and it will all be detailed out in that report. So keep an eye out for the actual case study released with Rank Tracker or myself. So as you can see, this is all in Rank Tracker. We tracked the keyword. Now, unfortunately, the keyword was entered a couple of days late. I'm going to put it down as my fault. I should have advised the team that it was quite important to monitor this keyword instead of just saying do it. So we have missed out on a couple of days of data. However, as you can see, it remained quite stagnant. So instead of us sitting there being like, okay, we're in position 3, we want to go up to position 1, it's only going to be X amount of clicks, we sort of kept it a little bit neutral. We're in that middle ground of aggressive, conservative, right in the middle there for this keyword. And as you can see, we were sitting in position 3, position 3, position 3, and we've been slapped down. Okay, so we've actually gone from position 3 down to position 6, and we've finished in position 5 at the end of the 14-day test. So for that keyword, click-through rate actually hurt us. Now, why would this be? Well, we'll get into that later, but let's have a look at the other keywords. So how to make a Google post. Now, as you can see with this one, this is a little bit more of a positive result that you want to see with CTR. So as you can see, there's a bit of a dance going on. You can see that there's a drop, then a pickup, then a drop again, then it's coming back up. This is actually a great indication that what you're doing with your CTR manipulation is kind of on track. This is where you want it to be going. You want Google to be trying to figure out where it should be going. Now, as you can see, it's how to make a Google post. There's actually not a lot of search volume in here, which is strange, but it's not very much searched after that specific keyword, okay? But it's still a Google keyword. Regardless, it is normally a little bit harder to rank for anything like Google posts, anything along those lines. It can be quite challenging, but it's good to see that we haven't been wiped off the face of the map. So we've done a bit of a dance. We started in position 6 and then we've gone to position 7, but again, a negative result. The next one is digital marketing Boca Raton. Now, if you are doing CTR manipulation and you're trying to determine if it works or not, and you're running a campaign and you see this happen, this is concerning. So when something's running along quite smoothly and then all of a sudden drops and there's no bounce back, problems. Okay, this is a big thing that I would pay attention to. Now, as you can see, this keyword is really a local based serviced keyword. So the intent behind this is a little bit different. Ideally for this keyword, there's going to be a map pack pulled for sure. So another way that you can determine that for that keyword is you can look down here at Rank Tracker's information, the SERP features. So you can have a look down here and see, okay, well, what's being displayed. So it's pretty cool like that. Very, very similar to SEMrush, gives you all of the data. But to be honest, I think the tracking with this and SEMrush, they're on par. It's a very, very good tool. So as you can see, it's dropped down. Now, if you were doing CTR on this keyword right here, what would I suggest that you do? Monitor for a couple more days, then back right off. Still want to send in some clicks, but nowhere near what we're doing. Now, we were being a little bit more aggressive with this keyword than what we should have been, hence why we've probably taken a bit of a hit. So let's jump across to the final keyword, which was corporate reputation management. Now, this one was very interesting. So as you can see, we're in position 11, okay? We could have bounced around a little bit more. Like I said, unfortunately, we missed the first couple of days of data, but we had it recorded anyway on an actual document. It's just we didn't have it entered into Rank Tracker, unfortunately. So as you can see, there was a spike for us. We went up 4 positions. We went up to position 7, but then came back down. And unfortunately, the trajectory hasn't been too good. So we started in position 11 and we've dropped all the way down to position 13. So if we come across to my guest post here, let's scroll down to the results and let's check it all out. So as you can see, and let me zoom in. So if your eyes are almost as bad as mine, then you'll be able to actually read this. As you can see, the starting position for pretty much all of the keywords have meant that we've ended up in a worse place. Now, this is only a 14-day test of CTR manipulation. Now, does CTR manipulation work all the time? No, it doesn't. And it's clearly displayed here that it actually can cause you negative outcomes. But if you actually think about it, and the results and how many clicks we've got, all in this document, but determining upon your test is what you'll get. If you start putting in your campaign, if you start putting in, like I said before, 98 extra clicks when you shouldn't be doing that. It shouldn't be 60 extra clicks you're getting for that month. What do you think's going to happen? Google's smart enough to know, hey, something's going on here. I don't like it. Google will figure it out. So it's very, very important that you pay attention to this. Something that I stress, and I'll finish this on a note, just in case you are new to CTR and you don't want to jump across to my other CTR manipulation video, is these things right here super important if you want to perform CTR manipulation. So how to perform CTR manipulation, okay? So these are some tips with CTR. Main thing is, so don't send too much traffic, all right? Like I said before, I was quite aggressive on a couple of these keywords. We were sending basically what position number one would be getting, or the whole search query. So as an example, like there was 390 searches a month for a keyword. We're sending 390 clicks. That's ridiculous. It's obviously going to tank it. Or is it? Why? Well, we have to test it to find out. So I didn't go that aggressive on a massive keyword. It was one of those smaller keywords. So it obviously tanked it. Everything that we tried, the little bit too much juice didn't work. The way too much juice didn't work. So I still stand by my hypothesis of you need to slowly leapfrog your way up the ladder. Again, if you're in position 5, right, and you should be getting 23 clicks a month, well, don't go doing 2 times a day, 2 clicks a day, like I did on one of these things. That's their numbers up there that position number 2 should be getting. That's not right. So what you want to do is look at the positions above you. So I would set my minimum clicks, additional clicks. So as an example, 31. Okay, so that's 8 more than what I'm getting. Well, first I'd look in Google Search Console, confirm that Google Search Console matches what I have on this, forecasted sheet. This is just the general norms of the percentages of a position. If you look at it like that, then you should be able to go, okay, it's 8 extra positions. But then look at the one above and go, I can't go more than this. So essentially double. So we can't do 20 more clicks for that entire month. So I would look at this and go, it's 8, it's 20. I would set it at 10 extra clicks for my CTR manipulation for that month. That's what I would do. Check in a month later. Okay. See, has it moved up? Has it moved down? If it's moved down, it either doesn't like it. You've got terrible CTR. Your proxies might be no good. You should be using mobile proxies, or you've gone too aggressive. So back it off, but don't just cut it. If you cut it, then it's going to confirm Google's suspicion and down you go again. That's just a bit of an FYI. Very important piece of information for you. And another thing where people get it wrong is they don't take it slow and they don't make it look natural. Think about it like this, like I've got in this example right here. If you're sending CTR manipulation and most of your users, like let's say you're a local business, like a plumber or an electrician or a lawyer, and you're sitting there and a lot of people are looking at their phone for those local services in the local area, they're going to look on their phone. A lawyer, most likely desktop, but your more basic home maintenance stuff, that's going to be mobile searches. So if you start doing CTR on desktops, on the desktop device, that's out of whack. That's not natural. So make sure that you're looking at all of this information. Make sure that you're assessing all of that information. What happens if you're seasonal? Like I don't know, let's talk about golf clubs. Is a lot of people playing golf in the winter? So why would you be doing a massive amount of Callaway sticks during the winter? You would tone it right back. Same as the weekends. How many people are looking for a plumber on the weekends? I can assure you it's a lot less because people don't want to deal with it unless it's an emergency compared to throughout the week. So these are the types of things that you need to ensure that you look at when you are trying to assess CTR manipulation. You're trying to develop your own CTR campaign. Now, CTR manipulation, does it work? Yes, it does. It's an effective strategy that we utilize. I think it's still fantastic and a very, very important part of SEO. You cannot sit there anymore and just be like, on page, off page, tis what it is. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. But as you saw in my test results that I ran just for 14 days, it was a negative impact. So be careful, because if you're making money from those keywords and you were to drop down like I did in a couple of those, how many less phone calls are you getting? That's something to consider when you're doing CTR manipulation. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you around, guys. Cheers.